I think it's a very, very important time for the European industry and governments, frankly, to understand what is changing in the world, changing economic arrangements, renewal of trust that's really important. You know, what do we trust in terms of trading relationships, in terms of countries' policies, internally and externally? And for Europe, the demands of a defense spending that has been brought home to them in two ways. One is the requirements from the United States for increased defense spending, and second, a war on their borders that has now entered its fourth year.
As a business which has substantial assets in the United States, and via the investment bank especially, is tuned into global events and global trade oscillation, just how worried are you about policy by text, policy by social media? I think it's something you mentioned in there as well, and I'm not breaking Chatham House rules, but I mean, you must be very concerned about how policy is developing stateside and what it means for you and your business.
Well, let me say about the United States, first of all, it is a home market, so to speak, for us. We've been in the UK for 330 years. We've been in the US for 175 years. Benjamin Franklin was a client of ours. So our roots in the US go back a long, long way. And I hope to be stronger and stronger there day by day, month by month, year by year, decade by decade. It is also a very dynamic economy. It dominates tech and dominates many, many sectors. And we are, it's a great, New York is the global financial market. We're happy to be there. I think, obviously, the policy environment is changing, not just in terms of policies, but in the way in which they are promulgated and the way in which they are communicated, as you refer. Yeah. Look, we have to adjust to it, like we adjust to different times in the world. We try to anticipate, we try to be prepared, and we try to give flexibility in our business model.
But I've talked to you about results recently, so I don't want to do that. Yeah. Your road looks nice. I think it was 16% with a bit of change. But clearly trading activity, fantastic. It loves the oscillation. But your clients who want to do deals, who want to do M&A, who want to do IPOs, who want to do longer-term activities, it's got to be detrimental to that side of the business, isn't it?
It's okay in some parts and it's harder in some parts. Where it's harder are companies that are trying to understand the impact of trade and tariffs and regulation on their business model. And you can look at the companies that have withdrawn earnings guidance over the year, and those are the industries that are more deeply affected. And there, they might decide, not now, but over time, that there needs to be further consolidation or further rewiring of their business models. And then activity will increase and we can help them. And then there are others who are taking advantage of the relative calm to continue to expand their businesses. We just helped, Sunoco, an American oil company, acquire Parkland in Canada, which is a series of facilities and gas stations. So those kinds of activities still take place.
Is it thwarting any of your 3-year plans? We're midway through. Any issues there?
No. I mean, I'm very confident in how we are delivering our 3-year plan. We've reaffirmed our commitment and confidence in meeting our guidance for this year and our targets for next year. Okay. And we planned under a range of circumstances. I mean, I never anticipated we'd get here in the way we've got here, but... Okay.
I was chatting to Andrew Bailey in the last couple of weeks. I've been speaking to Catherine Mann as well. Rates are moving down, but there are grave concerns about the UK government. I've talked to you about this on 2 occasions previously. You are one of the champions of the government, and Rachel Reeves as well. Is this government still on track?
Absolutely it is. If you look at what they've achieved over the last few weeks, they've had trade deals with the US, with India, with Europe, important trading partners. They continue to be repairing broadly relationships with Europe, which they need to. The UK has been a trading economy for centuries. London is the bastion of a free and open economy. It is the second most important financial center in the world. We thrive on trade, we thrive on openness. This government recognizes that, and it recognizes the importance of the financial sector.
But in terms of what it means for the UK consumer, there are concerns about whether the consumer is creaking. Are you seeing any evidence of concern in that area of the business?
So we're not seeing consumer distress. We're in fact seeing continued consumer strength. But it's coming because of people managing their balances and their finances prudently, so economizing. The job market is still strong. But as you see, even in the last couple of days, people are worried about inflation, people are worried about costs, whether it's winter fuel bills or whether it's more generalized inflation from tariffs. And the only real answer to that is growth, which is what this government is focused on and what we want to help them achieve.
And you have grown through acquisition, and you've got an organic strategy as well. We don't need to talk anymore about the previous Tesco deal, but there are potential offerings that could come up from maybe Sabadell if they're involved in a bid activity, and indeed Santander. And I've spoken to Anna Botín about this, but we still don't know what their longer-term plans are. Would you be interested in either Santander or Sabadell assets in the UK if they became available?
Yeah. So I'd answer it in terms of the principles by which we look at acquisitions. We have an organic plan, that's plan A. If something came up that offered us capability or scale and was tractable in our opinion, we would be interested.
That's very interesting. So that's not a no, Venkat. That's if those opportunities came up, then we would certainly have a good look at it.
I'm not saying those specific ones, but I'm saying the opportunities with the characteristics I spoke
Yeah, I don't
about.
want to create a market event here.
Yeah.
Look, very, very briefly, one of your key metrics is price to book as well.
Yeah.
Why are you still trading at a discount to rivals, and why are we all trading at a discount to US peers?
Well, we need to have higher returns. We're trying to generate those higher returns. As we've generated higher returns, our price to book has been increasing, and I'm hoping for that to continue and to be achieved.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think I can squeeze one more in as well. How worried are you about the broader European economy at the moment?
I think Europe has a real challenge in adjusting to tariffs. It's got to find space, fiscal space to increase defense spending, and it's got to look at consolidation in financial institutions within its market. Lots of challenges. They're capable.
Yep.
They should need to show the will.